Marcia Fudge, U.S. Representative of Ohio's 11th Congressional District, once said, "A nation cannot be truly great without a moral compass." In the Simpsons universe, the clear voice of morality is Lisa Simpson, the young hopeful who expects a lot from the universe she occupies, and a lot more from the people who she shares it with. But should she? Is it her task to voice these hopes, these objections? Today, on the Simpsons Ass podcast, we talk about how, or more aptly, if Lisa has changed over the years, and how those resulting changes, should they have happened, made her the least likeable character and the most moral. If you have any other thoughts we have not covered on this topic, then feel free to share those opinions where this podcast is hosted on tophatsandcanes.com. We do thank you for listening, and we also hope you enjoy this Simpsons Ass. Love all your things.
Love it all.
Jolly good stuff. So what's the actual topic of this one then?
Lisa Simpson.
Lisa Simpson.
Lisa Simpson.
Has Lisa Simpson... Bring yourself in close so we can pick you up.
Sorry.
Yeah. Has Lisa Simpson
Too close.
changed more than any other character, do you think? Homer, since day one, has been idiot fall down man, would you agree?
He has.
Maybe, like, season 1 or 2, you could argue he was just more like all-American dad.
Yeah.
But now, Marge has always been the same character, but, like, she can do a bit more funny stuff now.
Yeah.
And Bart, yeah.
But yeah, I think you might be. Yeah. She definitely has changed. It's in a negative way, I'd argue.
It's because, right, well, let's just jump right into this. Because modern Simpsons, which of course is past season 9, yeah, it's so desperate to reflect the times and to reflect, like, the celebrity culture and the pop culture that it has to keep coming up with these things that need addressing, which is what Lisa's job is.
Basically, yeah. She's the kind of finger on the pulse of modern trends.
Exactly. So when it comes to something like Lady Gaga, Lisa's going to be the one who gets in there to discuss it. And then, unfortunately for her, that's a terrible episode, so she's the anchor on the sinking ship.
Basically, yeah. She becomes very faddy. She is the fad that's going on at the time.
Yes. I'm pretty sure they must have done some vegan jokes about her in the newer ones.
Yeah, definitely some vegan jokes. But isn't that whole episode where she's trying to save the tree?
Yeah,
and
that's
even
a good
that
one.
is just her, like, trying to kind of be more virtuous than the person.
The virtue of her. Yeah. Level 5 vegan doesn't eat anything
like
that casts a shadow with that.
If anything, that's kind of a precursor to what Lisa's going to become. It's rather than doing these things because she feels it's right, she just likes the superiority of saying, I'm doing these things.
Yes, because that is kind of the point of that episode, is she's just doing something good, but later on it becomes about her moral crusade for doing things.
She's a better person as a result. And then it just becomes of what is the flavour of the month that she's following, what trend is she following at the moment.
Yeah.
And then it kind of, in some ways it makes her kind of morally bankrupt in a way. She's just, whatever's like on trend, she's the one who's there. Even
when it's not, though, like, unfortunately, because, like, the White Stripes episode is like season 20 something, and that's when Bart discovers drumming as a cure for his ADHD, and Lisa gets jealous because he becomes a better jazz musician, so she decides that she's going to put her energy into saving animals from the local pound.
Right. And
then by the end of the episode, Bart gets a charity, a fundraising thing to get his surgery. So because by the way, because of Lisa, he can't play drums anymore because one of the animals bit him.
Right.
So,
and I haven't seen this episode, by the
way. You're not missing anything. One of the animals bite him. He can't play drums anymore. So the cool jazz musicians are gonna put a benefit on to get his arm fixed.
Yeah.
But Bart, for some reason, feels bad that Lisa's not happy because Bart stole her thing, which is cool jazz. So he uses the money that they would have used to fix his arm to save the animals that she saved.
See, I feel like original Lisa, we wouldn't be bothered about that. And, I mean, that Lady Gaga episode is a perfect example. So you go back in time, there's the Lisa is Sad episode. I can't remember what it's called. Lisa Sings the Blues.
Something
one of
like
the very
that,
early ones. And that's actually a really brilliant episode. It's almost like she's having an existential crisis. There's like levels there.
Yeah.
Lady Gaga one, she finds out she's like the most unpopular person in school and is therefore sad. which is like
Wow,
basically you've basically just removed all like the previous Lisa was just sad about, what is existence, what is life, whereas this one it's just she's not popular, ergo I'm sad. And then it's just you basically devolve Lisa's character over the generations, and
you've got it.
It's upsetting, isn't it?
Unfortunately, yeah.
And then it becomes Lisa sings the blues one. I can't remember exactly how she gets out of the funk. It's just kind of, I think
Marge
it's maybe
sticks up for her at some point, doesn't she?
but again, it's like it's less ambiguous. Sorry, it's more ambiguous. I suppose that's the existence, that's the human condition. It's never that cut and dry. Whereas Lady Gaga, at the very end, it's just like, oh, I'm happy again now. It's like, what? This makes no sense. It's stupid. You're basically making out this ridiculous, in theory, this ridiculously intelligent, very deep character is now just, I don't know.
Because
it's terrible.
Yeah, and there's so many Lisa and Homer episodes as well over time. Like the early ones are so sweet and so nice. Like the one when she calls him a baboon.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a dramatic reading of that line, isn't it? And like Homer wins her back.
But feel it.
That's the substitute one.
Lisa's, oh, that's right.
That's why she's upset.
That's
because
a great
he's gone.
episode as well.
Yeah, that's such a good episode.
And the piece of paper, you are
Lisa Simpson. Like
brilliant.
that's all you need to know. And then like Homer makes fun of the fact that she's like sad he's gone.
Yeah.
But like Lisa just kind of gets over it. Like she realizes Homer's like a cool, like just doing his best.
Well, that's what he says. He's like, I'm not, I can do monkey business. He like plays into it, and
he's just a sweet
he makes
old
her
dad,
laugh, and she recognizes the the limitations of her father, which is obviously something she's had to deal with throughout her growing up.
Yeah.
But it's kind of hit home that there's this great man who's teaching her, and who should be a dad. Her actual father figure is kind of a bit shit in comparison.
Yeah. And that's early Simpsons. Then mid Simpsons, you've got the one where Lisa wants to go see the Egyptian exhibit, and she has to get the bus herself. She gets lost, and yada yada yada. At the end, Homer goes like, Lisa goes like, "I've learned my lesson. I'm never going to try anything that stupid again." And Homer goes, "That's ridiculous. Like, dare to be stupid. Try something." And then they break into the museum together, and like they have that nice moment at the end where the Anubis thing opens.
Yeah,
that's nice. But then down the line, past the 20s, newer Simpsons, it's like Homer becomes a manager and Homer becomes a referee in the game, and we learn a lesson, we restore normality, we walk away together, and the sun sets.
That's it.
It's like, it's not only the fact that you've already done that so many times, it's the fact that the stakes are nowhere near as high and it's not as interesting or developed.
There's not
the nuance, which is a bit of a titty word, but
it's true.
Yeah,
it's I don't know. It's really sad, to be honest. That I feel like they're missing a trick, if you want to use a cliche. There's potentially an incredible character there. Well, there was.
Because it was
long dead.
Yeah, she set the bar too high on her.
Yeah,
she had such great episodes because she was like the adult in this family.
Yeah,
with two adults.
Yeah, that's spot on. She was the adult, and now it's, I don't know. I understand over time people become caricatures of themselves, but I don't know. In some degrees, Homer has, but Homer was defined with very low parameters very early on, so he hasn't had much to change. But Lisa's just evolved into a mess.
Could have done more, kid.
And now she's almost, obviously we spoke about Marge in a previous episode about how she's seen as like the unfun one, the nagging one.
Yeah.
Whereas Lisa's kind of a little bit worse than that. Not only is she nagging, she's morally superior with it as well. So there's no charm to it.
Yeah.
At least with Marge, it's like it kind of fits within a character. But Lisa, I don't know.
It's also more like that's just like the character trait and the throwaway gag now, whereas that would have been the point of the episode, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So like the one when they find the angel in the mall.
Yeah.
The whole point of that is a moral high horse is thrown away for like 2 seconds when she grabs Marge's hand.
Yeah.
And like it was like, oh well, okay, I say these things sometimes, but I still love you because we're family. The end.
Yeah.
And then this, as it goes on, it's just like, oh, that's just Lisa.
Well,
she's a bit of a bitch. What are you gonna do?
Well, that episode we just saw, and she's on the cruise ship one, which is basically a Bart episode, really.
Yeah.
Like the never-ending holiday. I think this is, what was it, season 23 or something.
Yeah, Coogan one.
And then she gets moved to the elite thing, and rather than be happy about the diversity and it's a diverse thing, she makes a point as if it's like, how amazing is this? This is so good. It's ticking loads of boxes for her, and it's kind of like, I don't know. It's always like that idea that I suppose I had a problem with religion in the sense that if you just do the right things, you'll go to heaven.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to necessarily want to do that. Surely that's still wrong in itself. You should morally want to do them anyway, rather than just doing it. It's like, and I feel like she's just doing it because it's like the thing to be seen to be doing.
Yeah.
And it completely undermines her.
Is there any point of this which is just like us being old and male? Do you think we're missing out on something? You know,
probably. But I don't know. I've read. I did before we came here. I did a little quick Google, and it feels like this is something that's been a bugbear online for a lot of people as well. That Lisa has become this. I don't know. I think very virtue signaling. Almost quite shallow. And she never was originally.
I think it's just that, like, because they're just traits that people, like most people, don't like. Like, there is, there's a point to what she's saying. Like, diversity is good. Like, yeah, veganism, if that's your thing, fine. But it's just, like, we're used to people kind of just yelling those opinions now and, like, forcing you to engage in those opinions.
Yeah, possibly. It's like all the things that she's kind of cheering. Not to be like, I just feel like that's common sense. Those things are good.
Yeah.
You don't need to be like, this is just like this. Are these things not obvious? And I feel like Lisa's going, oh, we gotta do this,
Exactly.
as if it's like, I just think it's these things are what everyone should be doing.
Oh, well, there's a Facebook group I'm on called "Social Justice is Important, but let's not lose our fucking minds," and it's just gathering people like Tumblr posts about like. Oh, this is racial cultural appropriation. How dare you dress your child up in Japanese geisha throws? And then, like, Japanese people underneath going, like, well, actually, in Japan, it is considered customary to let everyone wear the kimono because it symbolizes your sharing of the culture and we want people to be involved. And then underneath that, the person, like, how dare you speak down at me? I am... It's a fucking hell.
When you're talking about the reactions, I think that's the thing that upsets me most about the modern world we're living in. I don't think that I've got a problem with the things that people are saying at all. My problem comes when there doesn't seem to be like any grey areas anymore. Everyone is screaming at each other so fast, giving anyone the chance to learn. So say for example you've got an old generation, the way they did things is now seen as archaic or just basically backwards and wrong.
Yeah.
Now rather than calmly explaining to them and trying to educate them on why, we're screaming at each other. And we're getting completely off topic, but I feel like what we're doing is drawing battle lines. So then you get an old generation going like, well, fuck you. And the younger generation, well, fuck you too. And it's like, there's no middle ground.
And then
there.
you end up with
there's
a
no
fucking...
diplomacy there. It's just, all we're doing is just constantly drawing battle lines all the time. Rather than just, tell someone why the comment they've made is offensive. Don't just scream in their face and completely blacklist them and then that's it, they're done.
That's how you end up with a Brexit.
Yeah, pretty much. We're telling the old people that they're racist and wrong, and they're not. They might have said things that you find, they're just a different generation, and rather than just scream at them, let's try and tell them why we think it's wrong and then build bridges. But I don't know, that's just my opinion. But I want to live in a world where we're all holding hands. And
So, back on Simpsons topic, right? Here's an interesting comparison and topic of a great episode. When Lisa meets the maker of Malibu Stacy. Great Simpsons episode, great Lisa episode.
Yeah.
We all learn a lot there. Equality, yada yada yada. Okay. That ends with Lisa making the change the voice. Did he change the voice to Malibu Stacy in the end of that?
We're really sure.
Don't ask me, I'm just a girl.
All I remember is Smithers in that episode.
Yeah.
You are really good at turning me on.
Okay, so in that episode, the comment is like Lisa doesn't like the stuff that Malibu Stacy's saying because it's pretty, basic. She's a basic bitch.
Yeah.
They didn't have term back then, but that's what she was.
Yeah.
And she goes to the maker of it, and they come up with this idea for Lisa Lionheart. And instead of making Lisa Lionheart this cool feminist icon, they just make Malibu Stacy with a new hat.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh well, that's how that ends. But one of the Lisa Lionhearts has found its way into the production or something like that, and a girl in the shop buys it.
Yeah.
And Lisa goes, well, if we reach that one kid, then it's worth something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
good point.
good.
Yeah. In other episodes, in the newer ones, like say there's one when Bart finds there's an old cowboy who lives in town, and he wants to be mates with him because he does cool
I
cowboy
remember,
tricks
yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And he gets him on the Krusty show, and
He's like an alcoholic. Isn't
he's
he?
an alky, yeah, and he gets pissed on the Krusty show, and they have to he gets fired, and then Bart loses all faith in this guy. But then Homer steps in to like he end up stopping a robbery with cowboy tricks, whatever, and then Bart's faith is restored in the cowboy man, but the cowboy man just wanders off at the end. It's like like his last line is like, "Never contact me again, Bart."
Yeah.
So there's no social moral there. There's no real reason for outside of the entertainment. It's like they've not cured his alcoholism. They've not addressed anything. Lisa was working hard in that doll episode, covering a lot of bases, and she didn't even win technically.
I know.
She took a very thin slimmer of hope from it, which any normal person, including the lady who made it, who goes like, when Lisa goes like, if we get through to that one kid, then it matters. And the lady goes, yes, if she happens to buy 6,000 units,
yeah,
you know, because that's the fucking real world. Welcome to the real world. But in a Bart episode, it's just like, it doesn't matter. Like normality's restored now. Good for you, Bart. Like Lisa's almost held to a higher expectation.
Which, to be fair, early on, that's the way the character was built. That's the way the character was written. That, you know, she was the better of them all. She was the, you know, if you had to be like, have an actual conversation with them in real life, it would always be Lisa. Lisa was, you know, an adult in a young child's body. But now I just don't know. It's just a stupid caricature, and it's annoying. It just upsets me that there's a really good character that's been.
It's just they've spent so much.
She's an afterthought now. She's an afterthought.
It's so much of the jokes are based on like how smart she is and how much she knows everything. And when you think about like that episode when she discovers the Simpson chromosome and she thinks she's gonna get done because all the Simpsons have, and like, she's so nervous about that. But then at the end she finds out, it just affects the male, so she's okay. Like
that's kind of a bit weird.
But outside the premise of that, it's just. Is that her excuse for being a dick now? Because she knows she's smarter than everyone because she's got the working chromosome?
I don't know. I don't think they would have thought it that much through. I just feel like, well, it's one of the problems with The Simpsons in general. They just got lazy.
Yeah.
And they've stopped trying to add any depth to any of the characters, really. And the one character who definitely had it has now had it washed away.
They do it now in the new ones. We're up to 26 now, like, but like they do it for like Milhouse's dad. Then you're like, I'm not asked about Milhouse's dad anymore. That ship sailed. I can't invest in him now. And then they did like,
can I borrow a feeling?
Can I borrow a feeling? Great song.
What a song.
But they're trying to do like these deep character studies on them now, and it's just like it's too late. I don't.
Well, that's it. It's too late. Like, yeah, it's too late. The show should have ended a long time ago. It's not the same show.
It's not,
sadly. But I hold up some of the early episodes as some of my favourite episodes, like the
Beating of the Hideous Heart.
That's it, yeah.
Which is the Telltale Heart, yeah. With Alison.
Yeah, it's a brilliant episode, just about, you know, jealousy and how it can drive a person like momentarily insane. But it's a great episode.
Yeah. Plays on a lot of his strengths.
And that's the thing.
And ironically exposes a lot of the weaknesses.
Do you think what it is because Lisa's never been funny. Even when there was depth there, she's never really been funny. That's kind of, you know, she's not the straight man, but in some ways she kind of is, compared to like the obvious comic relief of Homer and Bart. And she was never, I mean, Marge is funny in a kind of like, look how straight she is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Whereas Lisa's normal. Lisa's like kind of us. And as the Simpsons has gone on, they've all evolved. There's no need for that character. There's no need for us anymore. So she becomes another one of these like. So they try and make her funny now because they're not going to put the depth in there for us to feel anything. So they're like, well, we'll try and make her funny, and the only way they can think of making her funny is just to, you know, exaggerate all the things that she's about.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it shit now.
That holds up, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I get the feeling watching the newer ones that it's so much more focused on like kids stuff, like kids stories, and like the daily lives of these elementary school kids. Whereas in the old days, I just got the feeling that like these were just adults and kid bodies. You know what I mean? Like the substitute story is not like the kind of story you would write with an 8-year-old in mind. You know what I mean? They've just scaled it down to make it fit the show.
Yeah.
And now they just filling her the role as like a smart 8-year-old, which is not really much to do.
No. Oh well. So this has been an uplifting.
She
I don't
still
know.
has her moments though, bless her.
So we have Marge is sad or unfulfilled, and Lisa's just being, I don't know, downgraded in
And
terms of
Homer is
quality.
exploited for what is probably a mental illness.
Yeah, essentially mentally ill.
Bart's definitely got some problems that
Oh,
should be on medication for.
Yeah, all kinds of problems.
They've made a lot of jokes about how he should. There's episodes that are about him getting help with those problems, and this, like, again at the end, restores normality, and we're not going back to that.
Yeah.
Just give that kid.
Watch
some
King
medicine.
of the Hill, everyone. Simpson writers, go watch King of the Hill. Then come back.
Well, the Lisa character in King of the Hill would be what Luan, and she's like the opposite. 'Cause she's like not there to be smart. She's there to be dumb, basically. Bless her, and she's a great character. Good.
Buckley's Angel.
Buckley's Angel, what a lot of fun. Like, how can you not like Luan, basically?
Oh, she's great.
Even though she's like not very smart and a Christian,
Yeah.
and you're just like, oh, she's just Luan. She's doing
Yeah.
her thing. Good on her. You go, girl.
Maybe we need to do a separate podcast on King of the Hill.
Maybe that's what the next season will be. Just King of the
that's it,
Hill.
King of the Hill.
Oh, there's Connie. Connie is basically Lisa, isn't she? She's like the smart kid.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
But I guess
but she's a B character.
yeah, she's a B character. She's not really there to be funny.
She's not even I'd even go as far as say she might even be a C character. She's not in that many episodes, really.
Like the stuff with when her and Bobby are a thing. There's a lot
but then
of,
that's
after
that's
that,
that's a fleeting thing, isn't it? And
Yeah.
then she's just gone.
it's a good arc though. King of the Hill is good. You're right.
Yeah. So, to sum up, Lisa used to be a great character. Now she's a terrible character. The writers are awful, and King of the Hill's great.
Yes.
That's it. Brilliant.
Okay, we're done.
We've nailed it. We've nailed it. And
Join us
anyone-
next season for King of the Hill ass, I guess.
Yeah. So hopefully people listen to this will be offended.
I'm used to it. I'm used to
Yeah.
people not enjoying the work that I
I'm
put so much effort into.
I'm sure I've said something that was really offensive down the line without really meaning it. Really.
Hopefully, then we'll get like
Yeah,
people
realised I've done
complaining.
it. And if
Yeah.
I have, I apologise in advance.
No, don't apologise in advance.
But it is what it is.
Okay, weird way to end it, but there it is.